Welcome to the Freelancers Tea Break, the bite-sized podcast all about freelancing and working from home to enjoy during your tea break. Brought to you by Emma Cossey from freelancelifestyle.co.uk. And now, your host, Emma Cossey.
When coaching, I've discovered that one exercise has a big impact on freelancers, and that exercise is transactional drivers. Transactional drivers are the 5 most common drivers which motivate us and can also drive negative behaviours. When I go through the exercise with a freelance coaching client, it tends to be a real light bulb moment for them. The 5 drivers, you can have one or more of them at any time. And in fact, most people will have all of these drivers at some point in their life. So it's not like you have just one driver, you might have a couple working together. So every day this week, I'm going to go over a different driver, looking at how they might manifest for freelancers and how to make it work to your advantage. So the idea is to give you a very brief overview, because these podcasts are short, into what's driving you, how that's a benefit for you, and how it might be holding you back, and how to use it to your advantage. So I'm going to kick off with the first one, which is be perfect. Now, a lot of these drivers have a descriptive term that will probably give you an idea straight away if it might apply to you. And be perfect tends to be one that does apply to perfectionists. And you might already have an idea and think, yep, that sounds like me. The be perfect driver is all about driving you to always give 100%, achieve a perfection, and never fail. That one in particular can be really tricky as a freelancer. It's problematic because failure is the path to growth. So if you don't fail, you're never going to improve. So failure is just a part of constantly improving and getting better and better. On the flip side, it also means you're more likely to see a project through to the end and give the best results that you can. For you, it's all about giving the best quality rather than rushing anything. Additionally, the Be Perfect driver means that you have very high standards for yourself and your work, but it can also mean that you have high standards for others. So it's important when you're looking at clients to think about that, because a client who doesn't share this driver with you can be frustrating. So if their work tends to be a bit more slapdash, or if they tend to just be more about putting things out a lot faster rather than focusing on the quality side of things, it might be frustrating. Although it's actually worth bearing in mind that I know quite a few virtual assistants who fall into the Be Perfect driver category, and they use it to their advantage by filling in that area that the person that's hiring them doesn't have. So if they have that Be Perfect driver and they're great with attention to detail, as a virtual assistant, that can really fill a gap of a entrepreneur or freelancer or client who doesn't have that driver and tends to have another one of the drivers that we will talk about later, which is hurry up. So if you have a hurry up client and you use Be Perfect to your advantage, it can be a really great pairing. So how can you use the Be Perfect driver to your advantage? The key thing here is about praising yourself and rewarding yourself for a job done. So for some freelancers, saying done is better than perfect can help just lift you out of that being stuck in the details moment. Also, identifying what perfect is for you can also help. It's very easy to think you need to attain this idea of perfection. But for a lot of perfectionists or people who have the Be Perfect driver, they can't even identify what perfect is for them. So by identifying it, it makes it a lot more manageable. And as with all of these drivers, it's also worth thinking about why Be Perfect is such an important driver for you. Why is it so important for you to seek this perfection? And that's something we do in coaching. So if it's something you want to talk about a little bit more, do jump on a call with me. I do free 30-minute chats to find out if coaching's for you. But it might be a good place to talk about that side of things. Most of these drivers will start with key events that started in your childhood or when you were growing up. So for example, it might be the kind of cliche one of you had parents who always pushed you to achieve better and better and always be perfect. or it might be just a trait that you've inherited from your parents, or it was just something that you've always felt with schoolwork and things like that, that you always wanted to do the very best that you could, which is a very admirable trait. But it's just when it means that you never feel like you reach that level of perfection, or when it causes you a lot of undue stress, is when it becomes a problem. So that's a quick overview of Be Perfect. As I said, a very quick overview because it's quite an in-depth thing. But tomorrow I'll be covering Be Strong. And if you think Be Perfect is one of yours, do jump on Twitter and let me know. Freelance_life is my Twitter username. And do let me know if Be Perfect sounds like it might be a strong driver for you.